Building Longu, brand design reference boards. So this is a whole series on the building of the Longu brand, the entire process. To create Longu, I worked with a longtime friend and collaborator, Wen, who is a brand designer based out of Australia. Before we got started, I created a design brief and brand design reference boards that clearly set out my vision for the brand, inspirations, and final deliverable requirements that Wen could then go over, provide me with a proposal, and we will get started after agreeing to terms. This will be a quick overview of the brand design boards, and we will do separate videos focused on individual sections and details down the line. Check back often. Section 1 is the Longu brand spirit and ethos. This is where I explained the nature and ethos of the brand, the energy it exudes, and highlighted the inspirations and references I took. Section 2, the 4 brand personas: warrior, scholar, builder, preserver. Each persona identifies a core value and aspect of the Longu brand and references specific elements of Chinese civilization, history, and culture that allowed it to survive and flourish to this day. Warrior, scholar, builder, preserver. These are the core aspects that resonated with me the most in the creation of Longu. Section 3, target consumers. Our initial target consumers are Asian diaspora and Asian cultural aficionados ages 15 through 45. Fitness and athleisure enthusiasts, mixed martial artists, enthusiasts and professionals, and Asian cultural enthusiasts. Section 4, market segments. Our primary market segments are fitness, activewear, athleisure, kung fu, MMA, Muay Thai, and boxing. Secondary market segment would include athluxury based on East Asian cultural imagery. Section 5, keywords and descriptors of Longu. This is something I learned from working with Wen in the past, where he would ask me to list all the keywords that provide a rough tone and feel for the nature of the brand and design project. Kind of like throwing down a scatter plot of words and phrases in order to roughly ballpark the result we're aiming for. Warrior, honor, forge, crucible, eternal, immortal, iron, steel, fire, granite, blunt, minimalistic, martial, warrior aesthetics, anchoring factor, art and beauty from functionality. Sections 6 through 9 contain all the visual references for the actual design process. Section 6, artist references. My main artistic references were 2 contemporary artists in China, a sculptor named Ren Zhe and a painter named Cheng Yingjie. Both of their works left a deep impression on me upon viewing and provide much inspiration throughout the Longu design process, which I will go into in another video. Section 7 are the references for the pictorial logo ideation. I purposely left the logo design references section all the way towards the end because I want to make sure that my designer had already started formulating ideas from his own creative instincts as we went over the previous sections, before seeing any specific ideas that I might have had. I've learned that if you're going to hire a creative professional, the last thing you want to do is to contaminate their creative design instincts with your own preconceived ideas. Remember, you're hiring a creative professional, so leveraging the most of their abilities is key here. I provided a combination of traditional Chinese dragon imagery along with fossil skeletons in reference to the bone or gu part of Longu. Section 8 are references for Chinese calligraphy logo ideation. Next, I provided several Chinese calligraphy references written by my uncle in various styles, and included one in a standard font for good measure. Section 9 are my references for color and texture. For our brand colors, I want to directly reference the geography and natural wonders of Asia itself. We have the orange poplars against the cool, shifting sands and deep green snowmelt rivers of the Taklamakan Desert in western China, as well as the white snow on rust-shaded sand dunes. And then we have the unforgiving Himalayas and their peaks of avalanche white and granite gray, the crystal blue and white of Qinghai Lake in western China, and finally, the multi-layered green of bamboo forests throughout Asia. So that wraps up the entire Longu brand design reference boards. Notice how I didn't mention anything about sportswear or even apparel in this entire document, save for the product segments. Because at this stage in the process, it's not about the actual end products, but the creation of the brand itself. And the brand is more than just the logo, apparel, or the visual graphics on the clothes. Brand design is really about honing in on the essence, ethos, story, and origin of the brand, of Longu, and the conceit and ideals within the brand. If I base a brand solely around a product, it would have the depth of only that product or collection, and will have very little room for growth and exploration later. And I've envisioned the Longu brand to be all about exploration into Chinese and Asian culture and imagery, history, artistry, design, materials, and geography. So to summarize, the reference boards are always done with a specific purpose in mind. In this case, the purpose was to provide my branding designer Wen with all the information I thought he needed to understand the core essence of the Longu brand on a conceptual level, so that we could go begin the process of creating the brand with his design talent and skill set. The boards also clearly laid out the parameters and requirements of the project and the specific deliverables he will have to fulfill in order to complete our contractual agreement. My designer then provided me with a proposal and price quote along with an invoice for an initial deposit to begin work. I will go deeper into each section of the Longu brand design process in future videos, so definitely check back often, and welcome to the Way of Longu.